Hey everybody, welcome to Comics Now for October 2017. October is one of my favorite months. The publishers are coming out with a ton of neat stuff, and we have a lot of neat stuff going on here at the store. So keep watching.
From the shining domicile that is Pittsburgh Comics, my old Maynard comic shop owner Colin McMahon transforms into the world's greatest comic book talking TV host. Join us true believers for Comics Now!
October is one of my favorite months. It helps it's my birthday month, so I always look forward to it that way. But I was also in marching band, and I love the coolness, the trees changing. You got high school football, just all the great memories of growing up and stuff. And the publishers have really taken hold this month. We have a lot of neat stuff going on. We have Halloween Comic Fest, which is coming up on Saturday, October 28th, where I'll be giving away a bunch of free Halloween-themed books. Also, the publishers come out with these neat little packs that you can buy to give away on Halloween, and I'll have those all month long if you want to come get those, so you can be the cool house, giving away the comics instead of the candy. We also have our book club this month is on Friday, October 27th, which is Batman Long Halloween, tying in with the Halloween theme. So if you're interested in it, I have lots of copies here. We're having great turnouts. We had 20-some people last time. We're food, drink, all sorts of stuff, snacks. It's really a fun thing. And if you're interested, the book, if you mention you're buying it for book club, it's 25% off. So great book, great time. So those are some things that are really neat going on. So if you have an opportunity, come on by. So that's what's going on in the store in October. Now here's what's coming on regarding the books. Lots of great stuff. We'll start off with the big two, Marvel and DC. Now Marvel is starting with their Legacy. We had the Legacy one-shot where they're trying to kind of recenter their universe and start a new kind of, not an event, but just an initiative. And all the books are tying in. All the books that have been around for a while are resorting to legacy numbering. So you have Thor is going up to 700, Cable is doing 150. They're kind of combining all the different relaunches and restarts and all the series into one big legacy event numbering. And they're really jumping in. We do have a couple number ones coming also in October. We have Sam Wilson is starting a new Falcon book. After the events of Secret Empire, he's given up the mantle of Captain America and he's back to being Falcon. We also have a Spirits of Vengeance book, which is going to be re-grabbing the old horror characters of the past. You have Damien Hellstorm, Satana, Blade, and Ghost Rider coming together in a book. Now, one neat thing that they're also doing with all these new books is they're doing these lenticular covers. And what that is, that's a cover that changes images. So when you tilt it one way, you're seeing one image. When you tilt it the other way, you're seeing another image. So they're doing that with the kickoffs for all of these new legacy books. So what you'll have like Thor 700 is going to have, it's a homage to the death of Captain Marvel. So when you hold it one way, you see the death of Captain Marvel cover. When you turn it the other way, it's a new one featuring Thor in the same basic positioning and things for the cover. So these are really neat. These are going to be coming out for all the books that are part of the legacy. So not all of them are kicking in this month. It's going to be going for the next couple months. But so we'll have these neat covers. If you look online, I'll be posting them as soon as they come in because I don't know exactly what they're going to look like. But they should be really neat. I think these are going to be really sought after books. So in the Legacy line, like I said, most of the Marvel comics are tying into it. And here are just some examples of some of the books that we're getting. We're getting Amazing Spider-Man number 789, The Fall of Peter Parker. Invincible Iron Man 593, The Search for Tony Stark. Incredible Hulk 709, starting the Return to Planet Hulk. Cable 150, The New Mutants. Avengers 672 is going to be a When Worlds Collide crossover with Champions. So those are going to be going between those two books and then over the next couple months. Again, Mighty Thor 700, which is going to be a big, oversized issue tying up a lot of Jason Aaron's runs over the last several years, everything coming to a head in this one issue. X-Men Gold and Blue are doing Mojo Worldwide, where they're going back to Mojo World. And this is they're a bi-monthly book, so every week you're going to get another part of this. And the first issues of this are going to be the fancy covers. Spider-Gwen is starting a Gwenom storyline. Venom is returning to his role of lethal protector in Venom 155. And Jessica Jones, while not changing numbering, still it's just number 13, is the return of Purple Man. So if you happen to watch the Netflix show on Jessica Jones, you know who the Purple Man is. Some other neat new books coming. We have Deadpool versus Old Man Logan. That's a little mini-series. These have been ridiculously popular, the Deadpool versus books. He's taken on Punisher and Gambit and the Marvel Universe, and now he's taking on Old Man Logan. And another neat one, kind of a throwback, it's Punisher the Platoon, which is done by Garth Ennis and Goran Parlov. They had a huge run on Punisher Max earlier, back in the late 2000s, early 2010s, and it's going back to his Punisher's creation kind of in Vietnam and giving some of those old Vietnam stories, bringing them to light. So that's neat. And that's, Marvel just has a ton of stuff going on. I'm going to be making a real concerted effort to letting you know exactly what's coming out, giving you the solicit information. So I'll be posting these on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. So if you're interested, follow me there and you'll see what exactly is going on. Now, DC is not going to sit back either. They have a ton of amazing stuff coming out as well. Their Metal event is continuing. So we're going to get an issue of Metal. We're also getting the tie-ins, which is the Batman from Other Worlds. And there's some other stuff. We have Batman Lost, which is written by Scott Snyder and Olivier Coipel, who's just an amazing artist. And this is where Batman is trapped in the dark multiverse and he has to fight his way back. We have, in the Batman tie-ins this month, are Batman the Devastator, which is basically Batman becoming Ares from Wonder Woman. Also, The Batman Who Laughs, which I think is going to be the big one of this, where Batman basically becomes the Joker. So that's not good. We also have Green Arrow 32, which is wrapping up the Gotham storyline. Gotham Underground, where the rogues, Batman's rogues, have been given powers. So we'll see where that's going. Action Comics is continuing. They're doing the Oz Effect storyline, where we're finding out who this mysterious Mr. Oz is, and it's going to be a major change to Superman's being in history. And these also have lenticular covers. The first two have come out in September and were really, really cool. So I have high hopes for the rest. This one's been really popular. Batman 32 wraps up the War of Jokes and Riddles, which has been a really, really good storyline. And Batman 33 kicks off the next arc, where he has proposed to Catwoman, and now he's trying to make good on his promises to her. A really neat book that I'm very, very excited about is Batman White Knight. This is by Sean Murphy, and he's basically doing a story where Batman has gone over the line to protect Gotham, and basically now it's up to Joker to protect Gotham from Batman. So this should be a really interesting take, and Sean Murphy's art is just amazing. He's really finally getting a chance to do a big Batman story. He's done some pieces in annuals and things, so this should be really, really fun. Also a really neat Batman thing they're doing. There's a European artist called Enrico Marini, who's very famous over in Europe, and is doing a two-part graphic novel that are going to come out. The first one's now, the second one's going to come out in the spring. And it's basically a Joker story dealing with a mysterious young girl that they both somehow have a connection to. But it's going to be neat to see the European take on it. It looks painted and just really, really pretty. They also, DC loves to do their specials, and there's a DC House of Horror anthology coming up. These always do well. They like to do their big, they also do a Christmas one and things like that, and they really put a lot of effort into these. Some other new number ones that are coming. We have Deadman, which is really neat. This is being written and drawn by Neil Adams, who goes way back. He wasn't the first artist on Deadman, but I think he came in with the second issue way back when in Strange Adventures. So this should be fun seeing him revisit one of his, big, not creations, but one of the characters that really made his name. A fun one, Harley and Ivy meet Betty and Veronica, crossing over with the Archie characters, so this should be fun. It's also written by Paul Dini, who created Harley Quinn, so this should be goofy and wacky and fun, like you'd expect. Wildstorm is finally doing their first spin-off. Michael Cray, one of the main characters in that book, is getting his own miniseries. So they've been promising us that the Wildstorm was going to expand, and we're finally getting there. Ragman is a really neat character from I think from the 70s. Joe Kubert was involved with him, with an old, very much a horror-type character who uses people's souls trapped in his costume. And then we're getting a Looney Tunes spin-off, Rough and Ready. Howard Chaykin is doing a book based on these characters that were part of the Looney Tunes. It was one of the backups in one of the Looney Tunes books. So that's the big news coming out of Marvel and DC, the big things coming out. So definitely keep an eye on this stuff. Now, getting to the other publishers, Dark Horse has a really neat one coming out. If you're a fan of Black Hammer, which has been really, really popular and was our book club book a couple months ago, they're doing a book called Sherlock Frankenstein, where it's the daughter of the Black Hammer who has been missing throughout the story of Black Hammer. And she's trying to find her dad, and in so doing, she's learning the secret origins of some of his greatest foes. And this first one is about Sherlock Frankenstein. Image Comics has a bunch of neat number ones coming. There's Family Trade number one. This is by Justin Jordan, who I believe lives out in Mechanicsburg Way, so kind of local. But basically, it's steampunk, alchemy, and adventure meet the ocean. So it should be a big story. Sounds fun. Maestro number one is a neat one, where the banished son of a royal family has to come back after the entire royal family has been murdered. And he has to come back to take over this country that has basically shunned him. So this should be an interesting one. And then there's a Tomahawk number 0, which is Donny Cates, who's red hot right now. He's taking over Doctor Strange, but he's done books like Redneck and God Country. And this is a collection of a story that was serialized in Heavy Metal magazine. And they're collecting it, and then it's going to lead into its own series. So this one, some earlier work from somebody who got really, really hot. So it's always fun to see what they did before. There's God Complex. This is by Paul Jenkins, who's really had a resurgence lately. And it's a futuristic story in like a futuristic type city where 3 church acolytes are murdered, and they have to work, futuristic stuff in with old style religion. Hack Slash returns in a resurrection storyline. Slots number 1 is about a former boxer who is down on his luck, and he's kind of on his way out, and he's not going down without swinging. So, and then there's Warframe, which is based on a video game. I'm not a big video game guy, so most of these go right over my head, but I was told this one's going to be big. IDW is starting off their Black Crown line. This is Shelley Bond used to be an editor at one of the top people at Vertigo, and when DC moved to California, she chose not to go along, and she is now starting up her own imprint over at IDW, and it's called Black Crown, and the first book is coming out of that. It's Kid Lobotomy with Peter Milligan, who is a big staple on the Vertigo. He's done a ton of stuff at Vertigo, lots of Hellblazer stories, lots of stuff there. He was also behind X-Force and Ecstatics, if you like that. But he's doing the first book, Kid Lobotomy, which is a dark, demented satire that follows a dysfunctional family of hoteliers, basically people who run hotels. And they also have a quarterly coming, which is an anthology book that's going to be coming out quarterly. There's a Goosebumps comic coming, which is fun because we get a lot of questions about that. Lots of kids like that, and it's an easy way to get them to read. It's something where they've read the books. Well, now here's a comic, of course, shipping in October. They planned well. Ghostbusters Answer the Call is the first series featuring just the women from the last Ghostbusters movie. And then Star Trek Discovery is a new series spinning out of the brand new TV show, if you've had a chance to see it. So this is going to be those characters. Some other books that are coming from some of the other publishers. Archie's is coming from Archie Comics, and that's the story of Archie's band. And it's going to, the hijinks and wackiness that it comes with playing concerts. Eugenic number 1 is coming from Boom. James Tinian has done several books now about kind of big plague type things. The first one, I think it was Cognetic, dealt with an internet meme that if you saw it, you would die in 3 days. So this is a new one along those lines. Boom is also doing a Rugrats comic. So if you watched it long ago and have a yearning in your heart for more Rugrats, you can get the comic. Dynamite has some stuff. We have Shadow and Batman. We just wrapped up the Batman Shadow that DC put out. And because Dynamite has the license for Shadow, they're getting to do their take on it. So they're doing, I think it's a 6-issue mini that should be hopefully just as good. And there's a Hack Slash versus Vampirella, another one that's very timely for October. Valiant has a couple new ones. They have Eternity number 1. This is written by Matt Kint. It's an expedition into the unknown. And then they also have a new Shadow Man book coming out where he's involved with a band whose name I could not pronounce, so I didn't bother writing it down. So really, that's a lot. All the big things that I really want you to know about, the things that are going on. As always, please check my Facebook page. or Instagram or Twitter. I'm always trying to keep it updated with all the neat books, all the neat events that are going on. Definitely want to remind you, Halloween Comic Fest, that's the last Saturday of October. We'll be having a costume contest. There will be lots of giveaways. We'll have a big sale. It's always a really fun day here. And then also the book club, doing the Batman The Long Halloween on Friday, October 27th. If you just want to have fun, it's not scholarly. I had one person worried, they hadn't really analyzed the book. I'm like, no, we just sit around and talk. We really like this part. This was cool. I like that they did this. And then we go on to other things, which is fun, when we just discuss, if you like this, you might like that book. And it's just a lot of fun, educational, really informal. It's a really good group of 20-some people that have been coming. Just a little bit of everything going on. So also this month we're doing double points on all horror-related books, graphic novels. So if you think it's horror-related, convince me and we'll give you double points on the reward card program that I have. So now here's my top 10. Don't miss the books that I'm most excited that are coming out in the month of October. No particular order. I didn't want to try to rank anything, but these are the 10 that I'm really, really looking forward to this month. First off, Batman White Knight, the Sean Murphy Joker is the Savior book. Mighty Thor 700, beginning the death of Mighty Thor storyline. Sherlock Frankenstein, going into the Black Hammer's past. Family Trade #1 by local guy Justin Jordan. Kid Lobotomy, #1. I was a huge Vertigo fan, and still am, but they really got me back into books, so I'm very much looking forward to this book and seeing what the Black Crown imprint has for us. Eternity #1, Matt Kindt has really been killing it over at Valiant, so interested to see what he has going on with this one. Amazing Spider-Man 789 is the downfall of Peter Parker. At one point they decided to make him a millionaire and he owned Avengers Tower and all this stuff going on. It never clicked for me personally because Peter's always been down and out and down on his luck with the the dreaded Parker luck. So it looks like this is revisiting and bringing him back down to earth. So I'm looking forward to this one. Deadman #1. I am a huge Deadman fan. I remember going to a convention back in the early 80s and getting Strange Adventures 205, the first appearance of Deadman. So this one has always this has been a series that I really liked and really got me to love Neil Adams' art. So I'm really excited that he's back on this book. So this should be fun. Maestro's #1. Interesting twist. Paul Jenkins and no, this is Steve Skroce, I'm sorry, is doing this, and it's really his first thing writing. So this one should be really interesting as an artist taking over a book. And then Batman the Man Who Laughs he has appeared in all the Gotham Underground books and all of the Batman tie-ins focusing on the otherworldly Batmans. And he's a really creepy guy. So I think this one is really going to be the standout of all these books. So I'm very much looking forward to reading this and just seeing how dark and twisted they can make it. So that's all I have for you for October. As always, you can find me, the website's pittsburghcomics.com, Facebook under Pittsburgh Comics, Instagram and Twitter under PGH Comics. If you ever have any questions, please let me know. Email is just Colin at Pittsburgh Comics. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for Comic Previews Theater. Thanks.
So you get up in the morning and get a jolt of caffeine like millions of other Americans. No big whoop. But studies have shown, and almost nobody knows this, that once you put a certain amount of caffeine into your body, it starts to have the opposite effect. You're literally drinking yourself into a stupor. And don't get me started on what it does to your prostate.
Not that I don't appreciate the lecture, Mac, but I'm sort of wondering why a health-conscious guy like yourself has a sign in the window that says, "Home of the bottomless cup of coffee."
What? A guy can't earn a living? This seat taken, Johnny? Would be nice to take a load off.
I know you, pal.
I know you. That's why I'm here.
You okay, man?
Normally, I'd take this straight upstairs, but getting shot with one of these little beauties really takes the wind out of your sails.
Whoa, easy, man.
Take that to Hellstorm. He'll know.